In Colorado, a man accuses a woman he met on Snapchat of choking him before he killed her. In Texas, a man is arrested for booby-trapping public restrooms with fireworks. And a cyberstalker terrorizes a family who had an encounter with a serial killer. These stories and more coming at you today, Tuesday, August 13th on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
I'm Woody Overton.
What's up, Woody Overton?
What up? Tuesday.
It is Tuesday.
It's hot.
It is hot.
Tuesday. It was a little bit less humidity this weekend, but it's still hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it was.
100 degrees is 100 degrees, no matter how you look at it. And we're still in hurricane season and coming up on the anniversary of Katrina in a couple of weeks. And hopefully the tropics stay quiet.
Yeah, we've been lucky in the last couple of years.
Yes, way too lucky.
With that. Yeah, usually that means something's coming big when it actually comes.
Yeah, we usually get a couple named storms, even if they're tropical storms. We hadn't had any in 2 years, and that scares me.
Yeah, thankfully.
I remember the last one, 19 days without electricity.
Oh, yeah.
And everything else, home destroyed and everything else. So.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's get down to some true crime time for Tuesday.
And we're going to start in Colorado, and a 26-year-old man is being charged with murder after he killed a woman he met on Snapchat by putting her in a chokehold. On August 1st at 2:30 in the morning, the Denver police got a call from someone asking deputies to conduct a welfare check because there was an unresponsive female. Medics from the fire department went to the address, located the victim, and performed life-saving measures, but soon pronounced her deceased. Detectives were called in to investigate because of the suspicious nature of the events surrounding the death. They interviewed different witnesses and ended up arresting George Alarcon Jr. of first-degree murder. The arrest affidavit said that Alarcon and the victim, Annabelle Wyatt, met on Snapchat, and she planned to collect money from Alarcon at around 12:45 a.m. that morning. One of Wyatt's friends reportedly told police she asked him to text her on the regular because she thought Alarcon was weird. The friend called police at 2:25 a.m. when she stopped responding. Alarcon claimed Wyatt hit him with a cell phone or another object when he tried to pay her. Doesn't make much sense. Usually that's when you wouldn't hit somebody. He told police he blacked out, and when he came to, he was about 3 miles away from his home. Imagine that. Yeah, he called police and said he was assaulted. He reportedly had cracked an iPhone 15 that was with him. Alarcon had injuries on his face, which also were seen in the mugshot. He said Wyatt threatened him in the past, and he became worried when he noticed his friend's car outside. Alarcon reportedly put Wyatt in a leg lock after she attacked him. Then he put her in a jiu-jitsu style chokehold. Her pants were pulled all the way down, and she had blood close to her ear. So, there you go. Why are her pants pulled all the way down?
And you're going to pay her at 2:30 in the morning?
Yeah.
That's all about. I'm glad I didn't have that Snapchat shit and all that stuff when I was coming up. It's just a recipe for, all these apps, a recipe for disaster.
Well, he reportedly admitted he left the home without checking for a pulse, and he said he knew how to do the locks, and he likes to train in jiu-jitsu. He also admitted that he knows when a chokehold is used, you only have about 2 to 3 seconds in you before you go out. He was arrested. His bond was set at $1 million, but I don't believe his story.
No, I don't
think he's full of shit.
Wake up 3 miles away, or you're coming to your senses.
Yeah.
And the scratches or whatever he had on his face, I'm sure were defensive wounds from her, and the DNA would be under her fingernails and all that.
Well, and there's no move in jiu-jitsu that requires you to pull someone's pants down around their legs. Yeah. I never known that move to exist.
Yeah, interesting. The So she was texting her friend saying, in case something happens, I'm going to keep texting you.
Yeah, which is the smart thing to do. You know,
Well,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure there's a little prostitution going on.
oh, I'm sure.
And maybe they did it before, maybe not. I don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Well, at least it didn't turn out to be a serial killer, but hopefully he's not a serial killer. But let me tell you about one. This is a really weird story I came across. And so a guy named Alvin Willie George harassed a surviving victim of serial killer Tommy Lynn Sells. All right, this is just weird. So nearly 20 years after a serial killer slit the throats of two girls in a bedroom in Texas, and he killed one of them, a Florida man began harassing the victim's family and threatened to kill the surviving girl, right? Just weird. Tommy Lynn Sells was convicted of the 1999 murder of 13-year-old Katie Harris as she slept in her Del Rio, Texas home. Also in the room at the time was 10-year-old Crystal Searles. Sells slit the throats of both girls, but Crystal survived. It's pretty tough shit, you know? Anyway, so Sells was executed in Texas in 2014, but he's a definite serial killer, and he claimed dozens of murders throughout the United States, right, after his arrest. But the case would take a bizarre turn in 2016 when Alvin Willie George, a Florida man with no connection to the Sells case, began sending photos of the 1999 crime scene to the surviving victim and her siblings who live in Idaho. This, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, George ended up pleading guilty in 2021 to cyberstalking and was sentenced to 51 months in prison, and he's due to be released in just 3 more years. But according to the plea agreement, George began messaging Crystal, who was only identified by her initials in the agreement, and he started this in November 2016. The authorities said George researched the infamous case and used multiple Facebook accounts to message his victims. And George began by sending a crime scene photo of Katie to Crystal. Then in April 2017, he began sending her different intimidating messages. How did it feel to watch your friend get murdered and get your throat slit? George wrote in one message, according to the plea agreement. In other messages, George wrote sexually explicit threats and even revealed that he knew her home address as well as the name of her child.
Wow.
All kinds to make the world go round.
Yeah.
George then began sending messages to Crystal's siblings, including one in which he claimed he would do worse than Tommy, right? Do worse than a serial killer. When the FBI interviewed George at his Florida home, and he admitted to creating Facebook accounts and sending a threatening message, right? And, well, he's got to serve 5 years in prison and pay, I don't know why, $525 in restitution. But what kind of special monkey does that take to find the victim, or the living victim of a serial killer, and get off on it?
Yeah, and it takes all types. I mean,
could you imagine your poor girl?
Well, I mean, the problem is with technology is a great thing, but you can also find out a lot of shit about people. And you can use that to be a keyboard warrior and things like that. But sometimes you're dealing with people that ain't got a full deck.
Absolutely. And
they're going to take it too far.
They hide behind a keyboard and do all that shit. And I don't know. I mean, I guess you can find anything online, find the murder photos or whatever. And I don't know, bro.
Well, we'll go to North Carolina, and we got an update for you. A North Carolina man accused of fatally poisoning his wife with eye drops is now being accused of attempting to poison their 11-year-old daughter with the same substance. This resulted in her hospitalization. And we brought you the original story when it came out about the wife. But Joshua Lee Hunsucker was booked on Tuesday, and prosecutors have asked that his bond be revoked amid concerns he is abusing and neglecting one of his children, neglecting another child, and intimidating witnesses in his murder case. Prosecutors argued that he's become increasingly aggressive and that his dangerous actions will continue to escalate. Hunsucker, who is 40, is accused of poisoning his then 10-year-old daughter with eye drops over a year after he had allegedly killed his wife with the same substance. He put the eye drops into his child's beverage, and the substance was found in their urine sample. A drug commonly prescribed for depression and not approved for children was also found in her blood. Investigators had found the drug in Hunsucker's truck. The 10-year-old was suffering from low blood pressure, a low heart rate, extreme exhaustion and sleeplessness, and constricted blood vessels leading to that hospitalization. Prosecutors accused Hunsucker of poisoning his daughter in an attempt to implicate John and Susie Robinson, who are witnesses in his wife's murder case. Hunsucker was indicted Monday on 4 counts of intimidation and 4 counts of obstruction of justice. Prosecutors alleged that while his daughter was receiving treatment, Hunsucker told medical professionals that it appeared she had been given eye drops, which prosecutors said does not appear to be a reasonable conclusion based upon the symptoms she was exhibiting. Hunsucker is accused of poisoning his wife, Stacy Hunsucker, with the same eye drops, or not the same eye drops, same type, and submitting false information to an insurance company claiming his wife died due to a myocardial, when in fact it was due to homicide by poisoning. So Joshua Hunsucker then cremated her before filing her $250,000 life insurance policy 2 days before she died. He received an insurance payout of over $200,000.
There you have it, right? And I remember when we covered that with the daughters, the new faction to them, I was like, eye drops. Yeah, and that's
well, it has that tetrahydroxyzine in it, and that is the poisonous part of it, or the part that would make you really sick.
Yeah, and
it eventually killed his wife.
And I had thought about that story again. So I don't know. I guess he must have Googled it.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I'm sure he's not a pharmacist or whatever. I don't know. But let's go to Wisconsin. Milwaukee. And prosecutors charged 4 Milwaukee hotel employees Tuesday with being a party to felony murder in connection with Devontae Mitchell's death. Now, according to a criminal complaint, the 4 employees dragged Mitchell out of the Hyatt Hotel on June 30th after Mitchell entered a woman's bathroom and held him on his stomach for 8 or 9 minutes. Now, 4 people are seen on cell phone video footage holding Mitchell down on the hotel's driveway. They are heard in the video telling Mitchell, "Stay down, stop fighting." And one of the employees told investigators that Mitchell was having trouble breathing and repeatedly pleaded for help, kind of like Floyd, right? According to the complaint, witness Sean Moore told CBS News he heard screaming from the hotel while walking to a nearby Walgreens to pick up some things for his son. The county medical examiner ultimately determined that Mitchell died of restraint, asphyxia, and toxic effects of cocaine and methamphetamine. He may have lived if employees allowed him to turn on his side, the medical examiner said. And according to the complaint, and an autopsy also showed that Mitchell suffered from morbid obesity, and relatives Mitchell and their lawyers had previously reviewed hotel surveillance video provided by the DA's office, and they described seeing Mitchell being chased inside the hotel by security guards and then dragged outside where he was beaten. And, of course, as always in these cases, the civil rights attorney Ben Crump comes in, and he's a part of the team of lawyers representing Mitchell's family. And he has said the video recorded by a bystander and circulated on social media shows the security guards with their knees on Mitchell's back and neck. He previously said the video shows excessive force was used by security guards to subdue Mitchell. And Crump has also questioned while Milwaukee authorities had not yet filed any charges related to Mitchell's death. And he said, today's marks a significant step towards justice for the family of Devontae Mitchell. And the evidence, including security footage and witness statements, paints a disturbing picture of a man in distress who was met with excessive and lethal force. And the fact that Devontae was held face down on his pavement for 8 to 9 minutes, just like George Floyd, is a sober reminder of the urgent need for accountability and justice. The hotel fired all the employees that were involved, and so their hearts go out to Mitchell's family. But 4 security guards. I don't know at what point. I mean, the guy went into a female bathroom. I get that.
Yeah.
But they're going to take him and hold him down. I guess they called 911 and basically choked him to death. And
was he fighting back?
He just wanted to get up, I guess.
Yeah.
Evidently he's a big dude. Before him holding him down, knee in his back, first thing I thought of was George Floyd, right?
Yeah.
So I can't breathe. And they killed him. I mean, as a security guard, that somebody goes in the female bathroom, I understand maybe you want to restrain him or whatever, but you should just let the motherfucker go and tell the cops what direction he went.
Right.
If he gets in the car, take the license plate. You don't have to hold him down, and they killed him. So, I mean... Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glace, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something, and all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We've got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gobble will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin-baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/reallife. That's GOBBLE.com/real-life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had. Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts to spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdown scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill, and calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful, out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize.
From holiday host and hostess gift to the coolest finds for kids to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary.
It is what it is.
Well, we'll go to San Antonio, and a 46-year-old man is facing felony charges after he allegedly left fireworks under public toilets, causing explosions whenever pressure was applied to the seats. I didn't even realize that was against the law.
Yeah.
Imagine
Remember
that.
dropping cherry bombs in the toilet?
Paul Alden was arrested on one count of arson causing reckless damage of a building or bodily injury. The explosions occurred at different wash tub car wash locations across San Antonio and in nearby areas. The first one reportedly occurred July 20th. Surveillance video showed a man walking into a unisex bathroom. Soon after that, another person entered and a small explosion took place. A woman involved in that first incident reportedly sustained injuries but did not stay at the car wash when police arrived. She was probably embarrassed.
Right.
You know what I mean? On July 26th, there were allegedly two more similar incidents involving a wash tub employee and a young girl. They were also injured, although the extent of their injuries is not immediately clear. Detectives found pressure-activated fireworks, which are sold publicly under the toilets. The fireworks were reportedly positioned so they would detonate when someone sat on the toilet.
That's like the ultimate whoopee cushion.
Alden is a regular customer at the car wash and used a membership card. He was reportedly seen on camera walking in and out of the bathroom, sitting in the lobby area, and leaving when the explosions occurred. And it's really not funny, but I mean, could you imagine sitting down to go to the restroom and your ass blows off or bottle rocket goes up your bunghole?
Again,
I mean, what the hell, man?
Thinking, bro? How do you come up with that? I mean, but Swim has flushed a cherry bomb back in the day.
Yeah, but no one's sitting on that bitch.
But I mean, like, how do you? I'm a booby trap a toilet. With some
I don't know, and it was pressure activated too, which that takes a little bit more knowledge, and it might have been. Maybe it's good they caught him because it might have led to something a lot more serious.
Hopefully, he cleared his Google search because he had to research it. Maybe there's a video about it on YouTube, how to make these toilet seats explode with fireworks.
I'm sure somebody's thought of doing that.
That's crazy. And we did a lot of stupid shit, but not until I ever hurt anybody. Like you said, nobody was sitting on it. But, all right, got to go to Monday Night Football in Minneapolis, and I'm sure I'm saying it incorrectly, right? People correct me on it before. And it's really pretty there, the Twin Cities and the river running through it, and it's just really, really pretty place, really cool people. But
what is that, St. Paul next to Minneapolis?
Yeah, right. I think it's right across.
I think
the
that's
river.
the other
That's
city.
why they call it Twin Cities. Yeah, it's real clean and real pretty. I mean, and I liked it. That stadium is done like a Viking ship. It's just amazing. But let's go to Minneapolis. And a Twin Cities man and 14 others are charged in connection to what federal law enforcement officials call one of the most sophisticated international drug trafficking operations they've ever seen. So Clinton James Ward, 45, is facing decades in prison for running what officials describe as a sprawling Mexican-based operation that spread a truly staggering amounts of drugs across Minnesota. And the shit's got to get up there somehow, right? Yeah. So the further away it gets from the border, the more expensive it becomes because it's further they have to run it. But the United States Attorney, Andrew Luger, and the DA Special Agent in Charge, Stephen Bell, and FBI Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Leah Greaves, announced the charges in a joint press conference Tuesday at the United States District Court in Minneapolis. Now, authorities say on January 4th, 2019, Ward was arrested in the parking lot of a Vadnais Heights motel with several pounds of meth. Pounds, people. And then he gets out of bond. He hauls ass to Jalisco, Mexico, where he's alleged to have quickly formed alliances with Mexican and American traffickers tied to two of the country's most treacherous cartels, the Sinaloa and the Jalisco Nuevo Generacion, which is a new one. This man moved to Mexico, set up operations with two of the most violent and prolific cartels to ship a massive amount of deadly narcotics into Minnesota, Lugar said. And in 5 years, Ward made millions by importing fentanyl, methamphetamine, and cocaine to the Twin Cities via an expansive net of distributors and what officials call the most prolific drug operation in Minnesota's history. That's got to be pretty big. Drugs were moved under Ward's order by shipping containers, private vehicles, and semi-trucks before they were broken down into smaller quantities and sent to Minnesota. Local and federal law enforcement built their cases against Ward and his co-conspirators by intercepting several of those shipments. And on March 11th, Ward was arrested in Mexico by DEA and FBI agents. He was extradited to the U.S., where he became one of the few Americans ever charged. And check this out. I didn't know this was a statute. Well, we knew it was a statute, but they call it the Kingpin statute. And it's different than RICO. It's called the Continuing Criminal Enterprise Statute, the CCE. He also faces several other drug-related charges. Now, the DA and FBI jointly seized more than 1,600 pounds of meth, 30,000 counterfeit fentanyl pills, kilos upon kilos of cocaine, $2.5 million in trafficking proceeds, and 45 guns from Ward's Mexican residence. Officials believe the amount of drugs seized is a drop in the bucket compared to the amount he distributed over the past few years. Bell said the meth seized equates to 5.8 million dosage units, or one dose for every Minnesota resident. And fentanyl seized amounts to 217,000 lethal doses. Okay. Bell said the remnants of Ward's organization were taken down on Tuesday. Lugar said 13 of the 15 people were charged that were charged have been arrested, and the other two will be in custody shortly. And officials say more than 50 people tied to Ward's operation have been charged with various trafficking crimes. Mr. Ward lived a life of luxury, Bell said. Those days are over. Lugar says the seizures will be felt in Minnesota, but much more is needed to be done. And the DEA says drugs trafficked into the U.S. from Mexico are the number one killer of adults ages 18 to 45. Number one killer, bro. Worse than cancer or anything else. I don't 100%. Understand. And they had to be working with the Mexican authorities because they have no jurisdiction down there to go get him. I don't understand why we don't seriously use our military to invade just to take out countries. Not to countries, but if China has a fentanyl factory and we know about it, take that motherfucker out. Yeah, that's what I say. You go to war, fuck, they're killing all our people.
I agree. I don't know if I want to go to war with China anytime soon.
It could be Guatemala.
Yeah, smaller country, Woody. Smaller country.
You can choose
one without a nuke.
Yeah, I was going to say non-nuclear countries. Attack them, right?
But it's a major problem, and look,
too many people.
That's why border control, and it's not a political thing, but that's why your borders have to be watched, because it's easier to get that stuff. When it's easier to get it across the border, it's going to come across.
And Cindy's
a lot of money to be made.
Cindy's dad, when he was still alive, I guess it's been like 10 years he's gone, but maybe 5 or 6 years before that, he retired. He was section chief for all South Texas over the Border Patrol. Mm-hmm. And before that, he had worked years and years undercover, everywhere from Miami to whatever. And mostly he helped the DEA and the Border Patrol get together on cases like this.
Yeah.
Stop the shit. But they got the people coming across what it is and got them to roll to get enough to go into Mexico and get this guy.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the biggest tragedy happening right now in the United States is a fentanyl crisis.
I told you about the young kid that died, and he and I'd stay up 4:30 in the morning drinking in my bar in the country. And I mean, he master's degree, genius, took what he thought was a Xanax, and it killed him.
Yep.
Fentanyl. So.
Well, we'll go to Ohio, and we tell you about these scams a lot, especially these banking scams with people calling, they want your account numbers and all that. And look, any reputable bank is going to tell you, will never call you and ask you for that stuff over the phone like that.
Somebody hacked my shit. Did I tell you that?
No.
And they got, Cindy got a thing in at the other mailbox in Norway, and it said some bank in New Orleans that I'd opened an account. I said, you got to open a motherfucker
in New Orleans.
Yeah. And I said, you better check that motherfucker out because I didn't know. I'd never been to this bank, much less heard of it. Sure enough, she called them and they were like, no, they opened an account.
Under your name?
Under my name.
Holy
they had my
cow.
social security number. They got everything. Driver's license number, the whole 9 yards. And then they've been trying to do different shit and it fucked up some shit on it. I've been getting some credit alerts, et cetera. I don't know how they got my shit, but they got it. And then,
well, and you do have these computer geniuses, hackers, whatever you call them, that go and they will actually steal information. And they just had a major breach for some company that I saw on the news where it was like billions of people's socials and names.
Shit, they got the state of Louisiana.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah, they have. So we're going to tell you about this. This is this one's going to get you. It's a scam that began with a spoofed call and it ended with an Ohio woman being swindled out of $6,000 and then tricked into, get ready for this, disrobing so that she could verify her identity.
What?
Via a FaceTime call with a cruel fraudster. The victim told the police in Mayfield Heights, which is a Cleveland suburb in Ohio, that she received a call last Tuesday from a number that appeared to be a customer service line for Huntington Bank, which is an Ohio-based bank. The male caller, who spoke with an accent, they specify that in here, told the woman that there was a potential fraudulent charge pending on her account. And to safeguard her money, the purported bank employee said she would have to move her funds into a different account to avoid her money being stolen. With the scam artist still on the phone, the woman went to a local Huntington Bank branch and withdrew $6,000. She then was directed to a Chase Bank ATM where she deposited the cash onto a Chase debit card via her iPhone's Apple Pay feature. After having spent 2 hours on the phone with the man, the woman, whose name was redacted from the police report, returned home and got another call from the fraudster, who wanted to FaceTime with her. The man, who did not have his camera on, asked the woman to provide them with a full body scan to verify her identity due to a failed transaction.
How far can you push it?
The woman told the cops she undressed and spun in circles. It's not funny, but it's like, why would people do this? It infuriates me. And spun in circles on FaceTime to confirm her identity. When the voice on the other end begins to laugh, the woman realizes, I've probably just been scammed and humiliated to boot. When police subpoenaed various bank records, the likelihood of identifying the perp is pretty remote, and they did figure out he was calling from a call center in India.
I was about to say India.
Yeah.
And then never going to catch them. And
no, they'll never catch him. Her 6,000 is gone bye-bye.
They probably videoed her on the FaceTime spinning around naked.
It is absolutely insane. The amount, not only the amount of times this happens, look, Lori Johnson Hancock Whitney has told me some nightmares with people that will walk in there and they're trained as employees. If I walked in there right now and I said, I need $6,000 cash, they're going to ask some questions.
Right.
They're not asking it because they want to get in my business.
Right.
They're asking it because they want to make sure I'm not getting scammed.
Yeah.
It's a major problem, and it happens every day.
20 plus years ago, I used to work a lot of those, but now, the social media and everything, and there's so much more out there. Like my own shit got taken, right? But I won't be taking my clothes off and spinning around.
To get that full body scan like on Mission Impossible. Come on.
I had a call from American Express, and I have 3 American Express accounts in the other day, and I didn't take it because I was thinking, it just now popped in my head because I was thinking it was a fucking scam. But now I know I need to call them.
Yeah, and here's the problem. Those numbers show up on your phone. They look legit. Yeah. I mean, how many times do you answer and it ends up being a sales call and it's from our area code is 225. So it's from a 225 area.
They'll even have a town. It'd be like Port Allen or something like that.
Yep, and they ain't calling from no Port Allen?
No, they're not. And they have this system that you buy into them where it just randomly spin you up a number in that area.
Yeah.
Right? And they're as fast as Rosetta Stone. They do it big, election time is a big time to do it.
It'll look completely legit. And just a quick tip for everyone out there, if you don't know, if you get an email, this happens to my wife all the time. And it'll say, you need to go on Facebook and reset your password or something. If you go to the top and you look at the email address, look hard at the responding email address, and it's not going to say at facebook.com. It'll usually say like Facebook help desk at, and then it'll have a weird ending to it. That's a scam.
The other one I get, and I get it probably one a week, it's like an email from one of my friends.
Yeah.
Maybe I hadn't heard from in a while. And it says, hey, look, I forgot to send you these pics. Click on the attachment. Don't click.
Yeah, don't click on the, don't do that.
You're going to be fucked.
You can put a Trojan horse in your
contact
computer.
that friend and say, hey, did you do this? Because I think your shit's been hacked, right?
Yeah, it's an issue.
Hey, ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement, it's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC. Hey, y'all. Changing my wardrobe from summer to fall, it's never easy. Luckily, Quince offers timeless and high-quality items I adore, ensuring my wardrobe stays fresh and I don't blow my budget. And there's nothing easier than going to Quince and choosing these high-quality items, like cashmere sweaters from $50, pants for every occasion, washable silk tops, and so much more. The best part? All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. By partnering directly with top factories, Quince cuts out the cost of the middleman and passes the savings on to us. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices and premium fabrics and finishes, and I love that. I got the stainless steel Link Apple Watch band for $59.90. It's heavy duty. It's awesome. And it's like $100 less than I could find anywhere else. And I also got a 100% organic cotton fisherman quarter zip up sweater. The color is alabaster. Man, I can't wait to wear that this fall. And Cindy got the Mongolian cashmere boat neck sweater in heather gray. And I'm telling you, these are classic pieces at a fraction of the price. Make switching seasons a breeze with Quince's high-quality closet essentials. Go to quince.com/RLRC for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/RLRC to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/RLRC. You'll thank me later.
It happens.
The better technology gets, the easier it is for this shit to
Well, I agree.
happen.
And let's talk about technology. In this case, is going to include DNA and another serial killer. I told you about one this morning.
Yep.
So a former long-haul trucker who's awaiting trial in the 1992 murder of a North Carolina woman was charged in the suspected serial killings of 3 more women in California more than 4 decades ago. Authorities said this on Thursday. So Warren Luther Alexandra, 73, was charged with 3 counts of murder in a connection with the 1977 strangulation deaths of Kimberly Fritz, 18 years old, Velvet Sanchez, 31 years old, and Lorraine Rodriguez, 21 years old. And law enforcement officials said this at a news conference. The women, all sex workers, were found dead in Port Hueneme, Oxnard, and an unincorporated part of Ventura County in May, September, and December of that year. I'm talking about 1977. Alexander, who is being held without bail at the Ventura County Jail, was extradited earlier this week from North Carolina, where he was charged with murder 2 years ago in the strangulation death of Nana Cobb. So he hadn't stopped. Cobb, 29, was found dead on the interstate northwest of Winston-Salem on July 7th of 1992, according to the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation. Her autopsy showed that she had been strangled. And Alexandra was arrested in connection with the killing on March 15th of 2022. So that's 2002, 30 years later. But they got him right down the road here in Diamond Head, Mississippi.
Yeah.
Court records for Alexander's case in North Carolina were unavailable Friday night, and it isn't clear if he has entered a plea as who's defending him. But Alexander is scheduled to be arraigned in California on charges on August 21st, the court records show. A lawyer for Alexander did not respond to a request for comment. But anyway, so the authorities in North Carolina used genetic genealogy, a technique that matches DNA obtained from crime scenes and elsewhere to profiles assembled by genetic testing companies to link Alexander with Cobb's killing. That's the first one in North Carolina. After his arrest in 2022, his DNA was uploaded to CODIS, and boom, they come back, and thank God, in 1977, they say something from these 3 prostitute cases, and they tied him back to it. The DNA had been preserved from 1977, and CODIS also. I guess that those departments had time enough, and they were like, "Hey, let's run everything through CODIS," and entered in as a match. And then they said today marks the first crucial step towards achieving long-awaited justice. Alexander had lived in Oxnard, roughly 60 miles northwest of Los Angeles in the 1950s and 60s while attending school. He returned there in the 1970s and worked as a long-haul trucker for the next 3 decades. And detectives who investigated the cases initially suspected the same suspect was responsible for the series of killings, but they exhausted their leads and the cases went cold. And now the authorities are working with the FBI through its Highway Serial Killings Initiative to help identify other potential victims.
That's amazing. And you know, it has to be that the discovery of linking DNA is the
amazing
biggest advancement in crime history.
In crime fighting history.
Period.
I agree with you.
you probably got some people that killed somebody back in the 70s and they're still alive and they ain't never been caught. And you know they're sweating, man.
Yeah,
you know they're sweating.
I think about it like I think about David Anthony Burns and Peanut and different ones we did cold cases. Mark Lewis. I think about they must almost get off like every Christmas. Every birthday, they're like, "Ha motherfuckers!
Yeah,
I'm still here.
I'm on the free people."
And so I love to see these fuckers get caught. And done.
And you think you got away with it when it's 30 years later, right? I mean, you
stick with it because I'm flying out to Atlanta next week, and I'm starting a series. It's not going to be released till later on, but I'm starting a series on another cold case, and it's like this, and we're going to put this fucker in jail too.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's your true crime time for Tuesday, I guess.
True crime time for Tuesday. And we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for liking and listening and sharing and all that good podcaster shit.
Absolutely.
Kids back in school.
Kids are back in school.
Well, I guess
you can tell by the traffic.
Yeah, I know. It took me an extra 30 minutes to get here this morning.
Yeah.
Because of the school zones. I'll be fucking around with the school zone one of the first couple of weeks.
Right.
Not even after that.
Well, hopefully they're bringing them kids to school and listening to a little Real Life Real Crime
That's
Daily.
it. There you go. The Daily Show.
In the carpool line.
There you go.
Maybe with their headphones on.
There you go. Yeah, now, but don't be talking on your phone driving through the school zone either.
That's right.
I mean, like holding it up and shit. That
Right.
will stop you.
Yeah, no selfies.
No selfies. Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, love all y'all.
Until next time, I'm Jim Chapman,
Woody Overton.
your host of Real Life Real Crime Daily. Peace.